welcome back to Gotta Be Me podcast. We're so happy to be here again with you today. We're your hosts. My name is Sophia, and this is my cousin, Peyton.
Welcome back to our channel, everybody. If you're new here, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll appreciate it so very much.
We are so excited and thankful to have an author on our show this week. Sister Keichelle, we've known her for a long time, and but she finally is releasing her very first book. And when I tell you we've been trying to get her on the podcast at least a solid year, and she's like, hang on, I want to release my book. Hang on, I want to release my book. Hang on, I need to print my book. Hang on, I need a picture for my book. Hang on, I need a link for my book.
Okay.
Hang on, I need a price for my book. Okay, enough. But finally, when she got the whole thing together, she was like, all right, I'll come. So we're super happy and excited to have her. And we just want her to be able to share her story as a writer and the story of her book. Welcome.
All right, so now what?
So now, can you tell us a little bit about why and how you, okay, I got you. Okay. When did you know you were a writer? Or when did you start writing a lot?
Okay, I don't necessarily even know when I knew I was a writer or anything like that, like in that sense. But as a child, I liked to write just because I liked escapism. Like I like to escape reality very much, like, TV, video games, all that kind of stuff. And I started writing in like 7th grade, I would say. And I had a notebook and I felt like I had to hide it in my closet. I wouldn't write anything bad. I was just a child, whatever. I wanted to have something that was just mine. Mm-hmm. So I wrote clear through my childhood, clear through being a teenager. I didn't have a phone really, and I didn't have a laptop, so I would, when I would collect inspiration and stuff like that, I would cut out pictures from magazines or things like that. Like, okay, I want a character that looks like this. And I had a binder, I had a notebook, and I just carried it around with me everywhere.
Please tell me you still have that somewhere.
I do.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
And I was like, what? But now, of course, I have Pinterest and, all this kind of stuff. So I knew I liked writing, and I would constantly bother my brother, or my family, and be like, oh, give me a story idea, give me, this.
So the writing was always something invented. It wasn't like journaling or that type of thing.
Wasn't what?
It wasn't really journaling or that type of thing?
No.
It was always made up.
I tried to journal when I was an older teenager and in my 20s. And
wasn't for you that much?
I don't know. It was okay, but I'm not very consistent.
You wanted to make up stories. That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah. Fiction's way better than the real
I love
world.
fiction. I cannot lie. I love fiction so much.
Do you have a particular story that you remember writing when you were little that's your favorite one?
I don't remember that much. I would get caught up creating characters so much that I wouldn't really necessarily have them do that much.
You just focus on
who they were and what they were.
Yeah.
Tell us about a character.
I'm trying to think when I was we were living in Alaska in 2005, 2005, and I just remember it was a love story. There was a boy and a girl, and I don't remember any details. That's all I remember. I was my little self was trying to be romantic. And then I remember I love dragons. I still do love dragons, and I wanted to write all these stories about dragons and stuff like that. And, all that. And we went to February meeting, that Revelation meeting. I don't know if this is gonna make it on the thing, but Revelation meeting. And I was asking Mom, and I got saved. And I was like, Mom, is it bad to think about dragons? Aww. And she's like, well, I don't know. Probably, it's normal because that's all we've been hearing about this week. I'm like, this was before this week.
I've been thinking about dragons. Before the Revelation.
Yeah.
Revelation is a book then.
And we would be driving, and I would pretend there was a dragon running next to us, or we'd be in the plane. Anyway, this is stupid. We can cut this
No,
off.
it's literally not. I love hearing about your imagination.
Yeah,
what are you about to say about the plane?
Yeah, but I would when we were taking off in the plane, I would picture a dragon flying beside us, or running on the runway really fast, and all was stupid.
No, that's what I mean. Writers have to have big imaginations, you know.
And then when we first came to the church, they were all preaching about that scripture, casting down imaginations. Bro, I tried so hard. It was so I would pray every day. I was like, God, I want to be good, but what am I gonna do? This is me. You know what I'm saying? I was
you should have a misunderstanding of imagination.
I was in a crisis.
Oh, that's sad.
And it seemed and I was and then I was like, well, maybe they're talking about something different. But then they would say things to substantiate what I was thinking they meant, and it was horrible. I was like, I can't be a Christian.
I couldn't do it. I cannot possibly manage it because I have to imagine.
Anyway.
That's wild. That's crazy. That's
But
crazy.
yeah.
Do you ever like tell yourself stories to go to sleep?
Yeah. I just like if I'm even to this day, like if I like I worked at a flower shop and then before that I worked at a factory, and I like once I got good enough in my job that like it was just muscle memory, I would just daydream constantly, just consistently making stories in my head. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and write this, or I'm gonna trash this idea. Okay, what can we, it's always, I feel like I'm always writing.
Really?
So yeah.
You're in your head. I'm so curious about how you got over the fact that you didn't have to cast down your imaginations.
I don't know.
Is it just like gradual and you grew out of like being convicted
so,
about it?
like because I was like 12, and eventually I just grew up and I was like, I understood that's not what they were talking about.
And you're just like, okay, we were just doing too much.
And I remember like the Saints would come up to Alaska like for a meeting and stuff, and they'd be like, and I would just be sitting there in my own world and they'd be like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, dragons. Like,
what? Dragons?
They're not dragons, but like I was like, why do you want to know?
That's funny.
It's my thoughts.
Were you spaced out a lot, just like as a child?
Consistently. Still, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, still I had to make conscious decisions to be present.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you just have like little like started stories? All floating
there's
around
thousands in my computer.
Serious?
Yeah, thousands.
You're never gonna run out of stuff to write, are you?
Never. And I have this. I have one that's supposed to come out. I'm not gonna say when because I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I have another one that's supposed to come out like next year. And then I have one that I just wrote. And I sent to my brother, like, hey, what do you think about this? Because, our brothers are
Brothers
biggest
will
haters.
Be honest.
Absolutely. Everyone's like, oh, it's so good. But
and your brother's like,
oh, that was lame. It was bad for this, but good for this. And I was like, hey, if you say something's good, then,
Well, we win it. We're going to take the W.
But yeah, exactly.
What do you think? Did he say anything yet?
He did. He gave me some constructive criticism, so I fixed things. And yeah, I think my dream is to make a compilation. Like, have you seen Jordan Peele's book, like, what is it called? Out There Screaming?
No.
It's Jordan Peele, right?
Yeah.
It's like a compilation of scary stories from Black authors, and it's every single chapter is different by a different author.
Okay, like
so
short
I want to
stories.
do a compilation like that, and I want to like maybe for next year or something. Like I want to write stories. I want Sir Kennedy to write stories. I want to like recruit other people to write stories. Mm-hmm. So.
And is it you want to do scary stories too, or another theme?
Like just horror. And so what I wrote...
I didn't know you were into horror, too.
I'm so into horror.
What?
Horror, thrillers, absolutely.
Okay.
And yeah.
I want to watch some horror movies. I've like really only watched like maybe one or two in my whole life. Okay. But I want to do it like with you because I'm nervous about doing it by myself.
I'm down. I'm 100% down.
Girl?
Yes, I love that.
You probably love Sinners,
I consume mostly horror content. Last year, my New Year's resolution was to read 48 books. I made it to 40, and most of them were horror thriller.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I would cry and die. I literally,
every time it got dark, I would believe all the things in the book were with me, and I would leave my life.
Mm-hmm. Literally last week, like I'm so frightened. I told Sophia,
this is wild.
I told Sophia, no one was home. I was home by myself, right? The wind...
Like in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay.
The wind had blown the trash can to the middle of the driveway. By the time I got to that trash can, I had so much imagination about what could have happened to that trash can that I literally just ran into it instead of moving
with her car.
Because I ran into it with my car. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, if there's someone in there, they're going to know that I'm literally insane because I would rather run into my trash can than move it over.
Yeah. No
and
way.
I was that's how frightened I am of everything. I was like, and what if there's someone in there? And what if they have a gun? What if they're coming out?
Like, how do you manage that?
Like, I literally...
I feel like Peyton has a huge imagination, too. Like, she used to believe Adolf Hitler lived under her bed and stuff.
Like, I really did.
I'm serious. She actually did. She would take a flying leap into her bed so that he couldn't grab her ankles.
Every saint that ever died, they, like, just moved in.
Under her bed. So she would run and jump so that they could.
Hitler though specifically?
Because my parents gave me a lot of Holocaust books, and he was the scariest thing I knew. So of course he was under my bed, because all scary things. My bed was a magnet for all scary things.
So what I
really could not survive it.
How do you manage horror and having a huge imagination? How do you not get carried away with it?
There have been times, I don't know, I listen to a lot, they're horror YouTubers. I watch horror video game playthroughs by YouTubers. I've been doing this for years and years and years, and there's some that I'm just okay, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. All right, okay, that's good.
So you can
for horror, I actually think there's something so beautiful about horror. This is nothing to do with the book.
Nothing to do with this book.
I think there's something so beautiful about horror because it could be anything you want it to be. I saw A Woman in the Yard. I don't know. Have you seen that advertised? It's about this family, they lost their dad, or the husband, and she is going through a mental break, and there's the woman in the yard. It's basically her depression or something like that. And the monster in whatever horror could represent anything.
Okay.
And I think there's something so beautiful about that. I cried. That movie made me cry. Woman in the Yard. Ugly cry, because it's really it's heavy, the content, for sure,
the message of it, it's not just scary to be scary. It's saying
now there
something.
have been a couple horror movies that I was living with Stephanie, and I don't know if you cut this, but I was I got done watching, I came out, I was like, come out here and eat cereal with me right now. I'm not going to bed right now. It was there have been a couple that were intense. But yeah, I think for the most part, I don't know, I just enjoy it. It seems I don't know, it can almost be anything. You can make it into anything, whatever. It can
There's
mean
space
anything.
For art in there.
Absolutely. It's very artistic.
So I heard you one time, and you can talk about this as much or as little as you want, but one time I heard you say how writing saved your life.
Oh, yeah.
And I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about that.
So, yeah, I think it was just the escapism. I had a great childhood. I had a great teenagerhood. But there are things, there's always things, everyone has things.
Exactly.
Everyone's got family issues. Everyone's got, that kind of stuff going on. So just to have somewhere to escape and keep my mind, somewhere else, or when everything else is going on. I know it's not very detailed.
No,
but,
that's okay.
And then so I lived in Alaska from 1999 to 2004, and then I went back from 2017 to 2019. And then in that space from 2017 to 2019, had a great time. I got so much good out of that, but I was outlandishly depressed.
Really?
And some of it was I don't know if I was depressed because I couldn't write, or if I couldn't write because I was depressed. So that there was a chunk of months that was really hard, and you can cut this next part. That's when I wrote Little Black Ghettohood.
Are you serious?
In Alaska.
But that was an epic piece.
And I just wrote it whatever with friends. But I've written a book, whatever, in every single location I've lived.
Are you serious?
Yeah. In Baja, I would write, and I would encourage my comrades with my goofy stories or whatever, Sir Tabitha, Sir Karen, them were reading out. You can, just do. They would read it, the children would read my stories. And then, in Nepal, I would write. I actually journaled in Nepal, and I totally forgot that I journaled there. And, just a couple years later, a couple years ago, maybe not even a couple.
You came across your journal?
Yeah, I was I wrote a journal there, and I was reading it. I was like, whoa. It was,
that's
because we had a lot
time
of free
capsule.
time. Yeah. We had a lot of free time. I was like, the things I was worried about back then. It's
was Little Black Ghettohood your breakthrough? You had not been able to write, and then you were able to write it, or you wrote it in the middle of all that?
I was just being goofy. I don't know. I was just, because I was on a group chat with Rihanna, Mariah, Mackenzie,
and Leah, right?
I feel like there was other people, just a bunch of goofballs. But yeah, I wrote that story there, and it was. I don't know.
Pretty epic.
So, yeah.
Did that encourage you, when everybody loved it? Were you maybe
I was shocked that everyone loved it, because I was just goofing off. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. But yeah, this was the big one, though.
Please tell us about this.
So I don't know. I guess ask me questions so I know how to talk about it.
All right. So this is the first book you published, but you've written lots of books. Why this one?
So this one, I think this one was the first one that I completed as a mature adult, like, in a concise way.
Okay.
Because there have been, I mean, I was writing story, like, I had all these characters and all this, whatever, all growing up and things like that, just, you know. But, like, it was just kind of like they were living life and I was living life, and it was like we were just living life. Yeah, it was continual. It wasn't, like, encapsulated. But I had just come back from Alaska, and I knew I was supposed to be moving to Chicago, but I didn't have a job. I didn't have money. I didn't have a car, so I couldn't go get a job. And I wasn't 18 anymore. Like, I was like, I think I was 27. And I was, you know, not married. I don't have children. And I'm just like, I'm living back with my mom again after, you know, and I went, like I said, I went to Mexico. I went to Nepal. I was doing all this traveling. And then, like, I was just there. And I knew I was going to go to Chicago. And I knew, like, I knew I loved to write. And I knew that I wanted other people to read my writing. And I had written a whole bunch of, like, little stories that I'd, like, had people read, my mom, you know, all that. But, like, I knew I wanted to do that, but I didn't know if, like, because, you know, art is hard. Like, it's hard to, like, market yourself as an artist. And, like, I don't know, there are millions and billions and trillions of books in the world that we might not even ever see.
Right.
And it's just like, and that doesn't mean they're not good. They could be really good, but it just depends. And I was like, okay, I don't know if I can, like, make a living off of this or if it could be good or anything like that. And I was like, I don't know if if I can find this, like, if this gift would have a way to be beneficial to the world, to the church, to myself, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I was babysitting, or not really babysitting. I was, like, watching over, I don't know. I was staying at the Auntie Hargraves. Okay. And they were old enough, right? But the door was, like, gimmicky and, like, people could get in if they wanted to. So they just wanted somebody older there. So, I was laying in bed and I woke up and I just had this faint idea in my head, like, what if everyone had exactly what they were supposed to be doing written on them? They just weren't allowed to know. So I was like, huh. And then I was like, let me write that. So I took a few hours and that's this.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You wrote that in a few hours?
Yeah, I did. I just sat there and I was like, I'm not getting up until this is done. And I wrote it.
That's crazy.
I know. Huh?
And you knew it was the one.
I guess, yeah, it was the one.
So, like, I wonder, and maybe you don't know or don't remember, but I wonder, like, what was making you think about that? Like, people having what they were supposed to do.
I think I was just in such, like, I just left Alaska after leaving Nepal, after working and, like, working in a factory third shift, after leaving Baja, after graduating, and, like, I taught school and, like, I was just doing everything, and I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, I wasn't 16 years old anymore. Like I said, like, I was 27 years old. I'm like, I'm about to move to Chicago. I've never, you know, I was like, what am I doing? So, and it would just be so convenient if
it was just written on my back.
You know? But I don't know. I literally, like, you know, when you're waking up and it's like, you're not quite awake, but kind of, like, it was there. Like, that thought ran across my head when I was, like, still waking up, and I was like, let me write this down before I forget that.
I'm so glad you had the wherewithal to just quickly.
Yeah, and then my notes app, I'm telling you what, everything's in my
It's
notes.
probably a treasure chest.
It is that and grocery lists and random last names and numbers and whatever.
Just everything.
Yeah, everything.
Do you think you're always going to write shorter type books, or do you have any
No, this
any
is just a
warm-up?
You?
Okay, let's go. Let's go. I can't wait. That is so exciting.
Would you have sorry.
No, you're good.
I was just going to ask if you had, like, an age group that it was for, or, like, a specific target audience.
This one, despite how it looks, is for adults. I mean, it's got pictures. I can show you some of the pictures.
Hey, that's really nice art.
Who did the pictures?
Quincy.
Nice.
And
Quincy
Anwar.
Ewing?
Yep, Anwar did
Shout out.
this. Yeah. Oh, let me see Anwar's last name. Anwar Frazier.
Did the front.
Did the cover.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah. But yeah, despite how it looks, it's for adults. It's for older teenagers and adults. I don't know if it's a trigger warning, but it talks about suicide, which I was in some very dark places. But it talks about that kind of stuff, and, like, it's about is it's like I don't know, how much of the book can I, like, it's not really spoiling.
No,
I don't
just
know.
go ahead.
It's just, okay. But like there's this man and he's working at a nursing home. And I mean, you know, it's a job. Everyone has jobs. Everyone does, you know, things for work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, and you know, when you're working at a nursing home, you have to bathe, you know, the older people and stuff. And then like he was seeing all these people who lived out their whole lives not knowing what they're supposed to be or not doing what they were born to do. And he's like, well, I don't want to be that way. And meanwhile, the media is telling them that they can't know. If they look at their title, if somebody tells them their title, then they're going to be killed. Like, something's going to happen, they're going to die. He's like, I would rather be dead, like, knowing what I'm supposed to be doing than go my whole entire life and not doing what I was born to do.
That's heavy.
So,
I'd rather die. At least I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way about who you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do?
It's really interesting. I mean, look, that's a big question.
It is.
That's a big question.
But I kind of do feel like that. Like, if I think
Because,
back
like,
to times in my
what's the
life when I was
point?
deeply, deeply confused,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, you know, you go through those at, like, 18 or, you know,
yeah.
whatever. And it's
Absolutely.
normal. But I'm just trying to imagine that going on all my life. I think, yeah, I'd rather die.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe for some people, they can just do it. But it would kill me, I think. That's a great idea for a story.
It's definitely a dark thought to think.
It
like,
is definitely, and that's
could
why,
not.
like, it's not, despite, like I said, despite how it looks, it's not really for children.
Mm-hmm.
So, it does need to come with a disclaimer.
Well, it is a dark thought, but it's actually, like, there's a lot of people that end up going through life never being able to fulfill their calling.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Scary.
And I would even further say that if you don't know who you are, even as a child, you can feel it. We have children who commit suicide.
Yeah.
We have, you know, all ages. And, like, if they don't know who they are, if they're, like, just being picked on, like, bullying, if their home situation's awful, if they can't, like, you know, if they don't know, I don't know. Yeah.
If they have no outside purpose, right?
Yeah. If they
No
have no
higher
outside
meaning.
Yeah. If they don't,
just,
if they don't see a future for themselves, you know. So
it's tough to understand, like, your value if you don't understand who you are. Because, right, you could be in the wrong spot.
absolutely.
Right, like, if Peyton's, like, a gardener and that's all Peyton does, right? Like, eventually I'm going to start feeling like, hey, I'm really bad at life. Nothing's growing. I'm not planting anything. And it's just, like, that's, like, obviously a very simple example. But, like, the concept is, like, super, super clear.
Absolutely. So, and I wrote it, I think everyone at some point in time in their life has either felt it, is going to feel it, or, you know.
Yeah, it's a human experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, we have songs out there talking about, like Alessia Cara, What If My Best Days Are the Days I Left Behind? That song, every time. That song, every time.
It gets you.
Every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's...
Well, I love how at the end of the story, though, he gets
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. People are supposed to buy it.
Exactly.
Link in the comments. Don't miss it. Get you a copy.
Please.
Has good endings.
There you go, Peyton. That's better. It has good endings. Is things to say. Well, we hope you come back every time you write a book. We'd love to have you just to talk about
there's
it.
There's definitely
introduce it.
more rounds in the chamber.
I'm so excited.
Definitely.
And I just love the fact that you have just stories everywhere.
Oh,
like you just,
consistently.
That's so awesome.
I'll go out, I'll hear, like, this sounds so, maybe schizophrenic, I don't know. But, like, I'll have, like, there's, like, conversations in my head. And I'm like, let me write that down.
Let me just get that dialogue.
Like, I'm not talking, they're talking, the voices are talking.
It's not me. Like, what am I supposed to do about this?
Or I'm, like, writing and I'm like, and, like, they'll do something. I'm like, why are you doing that? I didn't tell you to do that. Like, okay, they're doing this now. Let me write about it.
Like they kind of do, the characters do their own thing without your permission.
Yeah. It's yeah, I know. It sounds insane, right? And sometimes I think I am going crazy, but hey, you know.
It makes for a good story, so let's go. Let's
just
go. That's crazy.
I'll roll with it.
So you don't have to, like, put yourself on, like, okay, I need to write. Like, it just comes out.
I mean, there are times when I'm like, okay, I need to be disciplined and sit down and actually do something instead of, you know, wasting time or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say I always have inspiration. There's writer's block, but I know, like, I kind of know the formula now. Like, I just gotta reading books. You can't be a good writer unless you're a good reader. Even Stephen King says that.
Okay. So reading, it helps you with your inspiration.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, okay, how are they doing this? How are they? Because sometimes you can get so stuck in your own head that you forget, like you write the same thing all the time. Like, you write the same, every character is the same, or every situation is the same. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you can, all right, I'm going to use this. Let me twist this. Like, let me change the weather. If I'm stuck on a scene, let me change the weather. Let me add another character. Let me take away a character. Let me see if, all that kind of stuff. There's things you can do. My 7th grade teacher, I wish I could remember her name. I can't. I remember my 3rd grade teacher. I remember I do not remember her. 7th grade English. She, I don't remember her, like, her class, like, we worked out of these writers' books or whatever, but it was, like, so little. But then she wanted us, like, our free time was reading, and she had newspapers, she had books, she had all this stuff. And I blame her for getting me into writing because of all the, I don't know. Yeah, it was just a free reign. Like, yeah, okay, now we're done. Now do whatever. And like
as long as it was involved with reading and writing.
Newspapers, magazines, books, like all this kind of stuff. And yeah, we were in there. And I like, there was like a book there's a vampire book, a vampire story. Not Twilight. Something way less popular, obviously. But I was like up in the window well, and I was just reading it. And I was like, I could write something like this. And then, yeah, that was like just inspired. The first, yeah. so I wish so badly I could remember her name, but.
Well, shout out to your 7th grade English teacher.
Yeah, that's shout out. Cool. Central Middle School.
Could you not look up the school directory that year?
I might be able to. 7th grade.
Maybe if you could find her and send her your book.
What year was that?
You're like, you inspired me. Here's my first book.
Yeah. School directory.
2005-ish? 2005?
I don't know if they have an online one for that, but
I'd have to check it out. I'd have to see. I'd have to ask.
That'd be really fun if we could find it.
Oh, yeah. That inspires me, too. I'm a little, like, apprehensive about teaching writing next year because I feel like I'm not, like, that great at it that I should just be teaching it, you know?
No, I think...
Do you feel like everybody should write, even if they consider themselves a writer?
I feel like everyone can write. And that was my point in the boot camp class. Because, like, I think, like, we think that writing is just, oh, it's impossible. Like, I don't like this subject. And, like, in school, and I was made to, write this book report, all that. I don't think writing is just that. Writing is, like, for example, you go into a Mexican restaurant. What does it smell like? What does it sound like? What's the name of the cook? If the food's gonna be good, what's the name of the cook? What's the name of the server? All that kind of stuff. That's writing. That is writing. So you have, or if you go into a barbecue, like just all that, like use all your senses, and that to me is writing. You can write that down. Oh yeah. Well, I'm a country person, and I just like to bale hay and all that, and work in the field and all that. You can write
that
like
down,
that
right?
there. Yes. Write about the rodeos. Write about like how many westerns have been written. All that kind of stuff. Like you can write. I think everyone can write. And there's like, of course, there's a scale of who writes better across genres, all that. But yeah, I think everyone can write.
I would totally agree with you. I got to teach history one year, but I decided that for the first 5 minutes of class every day I would make my students write. And sometimes I'd give them a prompt, but some days I would say, write whatever. I would be like, I don't care what you write, but just write something. Like, I just feel like it's a good exercise to make yourself write.
Yeah, it's really good. I did that with my students when I taught 3rd grade. Sometimes I would read to them what I wrote or whatever. But yeah, writing is great. I think everyone... If they just hate it, I don't think everyone, needs to write. But if you can, you should.
It's a good principle to live by. Thank you so much for coming. I finally got it. Please buy Sister Keichelle's book. It's so awesome.
Do the
ASMR on
it. Not only is it an awesome book, like just to read, but it'd be like great for like group discussions to read. Yeah, like as
digest.
Yeah, or like what are book clubs? That's what I'm trying to say. It's great for that type of thing. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We loved it. It was so awesome. Finally.
I know, right?
You know what time it is. Peace, love, and hair grease.